Just when we thought that two sworn political rivals of Kano politics have buried the hatchet to forge a pact, the bubble has burst for them. Former Kano State Governor, Senator Ibrahim Shekarau, has made some outbursts signaling the collapse of his romance with the new Nigerian People's Party, NNPP. After just 2 months, Senator Shekarau blamed injustice as the reason for his leaving the NNPP, led by his predecessor and successor in office in the state, Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso. Jide, we didn't see these two guys working together, and I have a problem with NNPP. This is a party that is just, meant to be gathering momentum ahead of the 2023 election, making more inroads. They had a breakdown of talks with Peter Obi. From that Peter Obi, we thought in terms of another big week they gained was this Senator Shekarau. So just a few months after, what's happening?
Well, I knew that they could never work together. I've said it repeatedly. And where two guys see themselves as political enemies and distrust one another,
no matter how,
to begin to
form a new relationship and alliance,
to begin to give, to begin to concede political ground to someone that you've always seen as a dangerous rival is something inconceivable. The point that I'm making is,
it was surprising that they had to come together.
I never saw their coming together coming. But I think Shekarau did not know what to do. He didn't want to stay in the APC because he felt he was being frozen out by the governor. And they had taken the governor to court. Usually when you go to court, by the time you exhaust
everything,
and victory goes to the opponent.
So there's nothing.
The opponent begins to feel, yes, now that I have the victory, this is the time to crush you. That was the scenario that Shekarau had to face in the APC. So he felt that his future was no longer in the APC. Then, where do you then go? When people asked me, I said his best bet was to go to the PDP. I said it at that time. But he made a political miscalculation by not going to the PDP at that time, because Kwankwaso was begging him. The moment the governor went to see Shekarau at home, Kwankwaso began begging him to say, look, forget it, whatever you have against me, forget it. I want you to be on our side, this and that. Somehow, Shekarau was swayed and went to join his political enemy. Because that's who they are, except they want to deceive themselves. Whatever will make a man go and join his political enemy just to stay relevant is better for that person to not do it. Because
nothing good will come out of it.
Nothing. In fact, Shekarau is a lot worse now. All his people that Kwankwaso promised positions here and there, no one has had any position considered to him. The promises that he made, we are going to give you 35%, not even 5% is coming. So how do you describe that? How do you describe that? There's an old friend of mine, a captain in Kano. He said, Jide, you said it that these people can't work together. Can you see now? Because people will feel that, now they are on the same, they can work together. But the hand has shown now that they can't work together.
What will be the gain of Kwankwaso by losing somebody like Shekarau 6 months before the election?
Well, the question that we should ask is, where does where is NNPP going? Where is the party going? How widespread is the party? It's restricted to one particular corner of the north. Although they say they have some candidates in the southwest here, but they hardly ever had, over here. But that notwithstanding, the issue is Shekarau, Kwankwaso, could they work together? There was no way they could have worked together. And you have to understand that politics is about interest. And most politicians will go to where their interest is best served. If your interest is not served in a place, they won't stay there. It's always been like that. It's not about altruistic motive that, you want to go and serve the people. It's about the personal interest. Kwankwaso he knows where he's going. Shekarau knows what he wants.
He does not want to empower Shekarau at all. That's just the motive.
If that's not
so why did you call him? Why did you invite him?
Well, maybe he wanted to destroy him by knowing that he had ulterior motive, and then he brought him. Because what is the point? All the people went with him. The governor, Senator Shekarau, has not been able to find anything for them. People back politicians knowing that if he gets something, me too, I will get something. People go with when they are joining a party, they go with the multitude of their supporters, and they sign and they do deals to also make their supporters happy. People went with him to that party. They got nothing. It's only Senator Shekarau that got something. You are now saying, oh, it's too late. We could not give them a ticket. Even those tickets you've not won. Yes, you are reluctant to even give to these people. No meeting, nothing. And the painful thing for me is Senator Shekarau, Obi contacted him with the desire of making him his vice presidential candidate. Shekarau said, no need. I've already made up my mind. Atiku had been begging him repeatedly, come to our party, come back. He didn't listen to Atiku. But right now, it is to that Atiku that is going to end up.
So what is the implication? What's going to be the implication now? Now we have Shekarau in PDP, we have Governor Ganduje there, and we have NNPP. Are they going to just divide that Kano into four?
It's inevitable. It's inevitable. It's inevitable that that will happen. These people, they are better in separate parties. We've been talking about this thing for long. They are all better as forming the Kano political tripod. They are better. To have two of them in the same party will not work.
To explode.
It will not work. To implode. It will not work. When you have... Shekarau was complaining that he was frozen out. They didn't share this thing with him even in the APC. And you left. But what has he gained in the NNPP now? Kwankwaso is a cold, mean politician. He has succeeded in wasting Senator Shekarau's time. Senator Shekarau
that they would have
is a good man.
Some nomination.
Now he's left him.
INEC window.
He has left him in the lodge now. Where do his supporters go?
And as a compensation,
where are the tickets for them?
How will he motivate his supporters?
When
everything, all the windows.
Where do they go?
I think the way politicians they calculate, some can be, as I said, very mean.
You see, that's why I say it's about interest. And you won't put someone that is likely to upstage you or to put you in problem.
Become more powerful than you.
You won't put him. There's no way they could have worked together, for God's sake. Because they are both power blocks in Kano State. But right now, as it is, Shekarau is in a lodge, as he said. Where is he going to? They are not going to substitute, even the substitution that's going to take place. Although, well, for some positions they are still available.
Maybe when we speak with Sule.
Maybe. I don't know, maybe Sule is with us.
Dr. Sule.
Dr. Sule, Yao Sule, our longtime friend. Not yet. We are expecting him to join us. He's the media aide to Senator Ibrahim Shekarau, so that we know the next move, because it's getting so interesting. 2019, 2015 in Kano, all election cycle, every 4 years is always interesting in Kano.
No, so much drama.
interesting.
Whatever will happen in Kano will go a long way to decide who is going to be the president of Nigeria.
Yes.
It's almost impossible for you if you win the Kano and some other
Politically,
key
it's
states.
the most critical
Yes.
state in Nigeria.
Yeah, it is. It is.
You know,
That
it is.
will
The
not see
capacity of the Senator Shekarau, the votes that he got as a senator was not matched by any other senator.
to show his
Because
popularity.
he's the one representing Kano Municipal. That's where the population is.
yeah.
The heart of Kano. Kano City alone has 10 local governments. And Shekarau is the lawmaker representing
That-
the heart of Kano. So you can imagine why he had that quantum of votes, unmatched by anyone.
No,
Unmatched.
it was said to be in talks with Asiwaju Bola Tinubu at a point in time in this thing. I don't know.
And
Maybe
you see, the
that did
thing
not
is,
yield fruits.
see, even if he does not have issues with Asiwaju. Asiwaju tried to stop him from going to PDP. Asiwaju had a meeting with him. He sent his private jet to bring him from Kano. And they had that meeting on one hilltop hotel in Abuja, in the Asokoro area. And he tried to beg him not to leave the party. But he felt he could no longer work with Governor Ganduje.
Governor Abdullahi Ganduje.
And now, even now, if Asiwaju will speak to him, he knows that he will still end up in
Be
APC
subservient.
Kano. All politics is local. No matter what, he may have his own this thing with Asiwaju, but he will still end up in Kano.
It's just like what's happening to Magnus Abe.
He will still end up in Kano.
And Magnus Abe wants to work for Asiwaju in the
Yes.
presidential election, but he doesn't want to end up
Within
in
the
APC.
APC, it's a
in
problem.
Rivers
Yeah.
State.
So that has to be addressed.
Uh,
What do you do?
But
that-
it's the same thing in most of the states. Oh. Even in Oyo State there, some people are interested in working for Asiwaju for the presidential election, but for the governorship,
They
saying,
will work against their party.
Exactly.
Yes, yes. Even PDP. I know some states that I will not mention here in the north and some other places where they will work against the choice of their own party and go and work for Asiwaju in a rival party.
That's
It happens
because of the
sometimes.
presidential election is 2 weeks. Governorship election is 2 weeks,
2 weeks after
the
No,
presidential election.
it helps that they are not doing it the same
Same
day.
day.
Yes.
So they can
So
easily
that too
direct.
is just
They can
redirect
direct the
and
voter.
realign.
Okay, this is where you go.
Yes.
And then some of them have had good relationship with the man over time. And it's difficult for political differences to now separate them.
build the
Long-term
bonds.
friends.
Yeah.
You know, so that is the thing. Right now, Atiku is going to cut short his visit to the UK to receive Kwankwaso, to receive Shekarau
It's
into
a
the
major
PDP.
boost for him.
Yes,
It's
he
a
will
major
receive
boost.
him into the PDP. That's his best bet now. Nowhere else. Nowhere else that he can go. This man has simply wasted his time in a very cold and mean manner. We see, politics to some people is just a zero-sum game. And it shouldn't be a zero-sum game. Politics should be something that we are excited to play. But where people think, no, this guy, I must crush him. It must be me. Honestly, it's Kwankwaso alone that can explain why he treated.
And don't forget,
This
the
man in
rivalry
this
is not
manner.
today.
No,
Spanning
that's
from-
why we said they can't work. In the past, because of one person, the other person moved to another camp. It happened now in the past between these two people.
Kwankwaso
No.
was the governor between 1999 to 2003, and Shekarau took over from him, Abi?
Shekarau took over. He did one term.
Yes.
Shekarau defeated him. But the hatred had been there even before he defeated Kwankwaso for the 2003 election. The hatred had been there.
My producer have been trying to get Dr. Sule Yasule. I think maybe by Tuesday when we'll be able to elaborate
because
on
I
it.
know
And
that
we
he's
really
also
need
working
Sule.
hard. He's working hard on how they are going to organize a reception, and it's at the heart of it. It's at the heart of it. the presidential candidate of the PDP is coming into town to receive him, and he is like the person ensuring that this whole thing works. So I'm not surprised that we are struggling. Maybe it's too busy or they are having meetings here and there, but it's a lesson. I'm personally pained that it ended up this way. Because this former governor, Shekarau, is a good man. When you meet Shekarau one-on-one, he's a very nice man. People should, and he's one of the most incorruptible that you can find. I say this because I know it. Government had to build a house for Shekarau when he was leaving office. Because he didn't have a house of his own that he could stay. That was befitting a former governor.
Yeah,
they had to build
extremely popular in Kano.
Yeah,
it's still popular.
Still very popular.
Wherever he goes, is guaranteed of
delivering votes.
Yes.
And that's why it's going to be very dicey.
So this is like a boost for the People's Democratic Party.
Oh, it is, because 2023 is going to be dicey. There are three major power blocks there. There's Governor Ganduje of the APC,
there's NNPP,
Kwankwaso, and then there's Shekarau going to PDP. How is it going to be? And Kano has always been, a very massive voting pattern from Kano, And so how is it going to be? That means they are going to divide. That means they are going to divide Kano into three.
So we can't have the bulk, the large chunk of votes that used to come for the super tanker
not for any political party.
2015 and 2019.
No,
I remember that 2015.
Over 1 million.
1.9 million just came as nobody recovered from it.
Nobody.
No, don't also forget that 2015, even many Northerners from the PDP were prepared to vote for Buhari.
Yeah.
They were prepared. Even some PDP members, strong PDP members, will line up on the queue and see their children lining up, their own children lining up beside them, behind a rival party.
Yeah.
So it was that the North at that time badly wanted change, and they wanted Buhari.
Yeah.
So that the quantum of vote that we got at that time going to one individual. Don't forget, it's not on the ballot this time.
It's not.
It cannot. It can't happen from Kano
It can happen.
in 2023. Yeah. So they are going to split those votes.
And the bigger picture now for NNPP, what would that be the end game? NNPP he came to the south to choose a pastor, Reverend Idausa, Pastor Idausa as his deputy. And at the end of the day, a lot of people will say, look, that the party might not be strong enough to confront the big two.
No, it's not strong enough.
No, maybe it's the party of the future.
Even in the northwest, you see people moving towards PDP. You see more people moving towards PDP than moving to NNPP. Maybe in Kano and Jigawa they can do well, but they don't have the structures in the other states of the northwest, apart from Kano and Jigawa. They don't have.
That's just like the one state.
I was in Katsina and I asked questions. I went out, I asked questions. It is between PDP and APC.
I saw those that decamped in Katsina yesterday. Senator Damake. Some people decamped from APC to PDP yesterday.
No, it's a tough one. In
massive.
It's really tough in Katsina.
Massive. I saw the crowd.
The party, the APC, has got to watch it in Katsina. They've got to watch it in Katsina. You can see that even during my interview with Governor Masari, I mentioned it, but he dismissed it as nothing serious. But they've got to watch it in that state. And I know that the candidate is not relenting, because the vice presidential candidate, Kashim Shettima, came to Katsina to see the former Secretary of Government. He's still in.
Dr. Inoa Mustafa.
Yes, no matter how bad he feels, he's still within the APC. He's still in APC. And what Kashim Shettima has come to do is to give him reassurances to ensure that they don't lose his support.
They don't have to lose Dr. Mustafa. It's a big assets to that
Yes.
party.
No, I'm sure it's not going to leave
Big
the party.
assets.
I'm sure it's not going to.
And what was NNPP like in Oyo State?
I don't know whether there's any party called NNPP.
In the South, generally.
In the South, yes, I know that they have some candidates in some states in the South, but the fact is just like a Labour Party. The multitude that they have candidates, but where are these candidates? Where is the structure that will propel their ambition? It's not there.
The structure is indispensable.
Yes, if you don't have a structure, you're not going anywhere.
Politics.
It doesn't work within months. It takes time.
It takes time.
It takes time, and you spend a lot of time, energy, and money too, because you have to put those who are you're representing in this local government, in this world, and all those things. It just goes down like that. You don't have them because these are the people that will push out people on election day. Go and vote, mobilize people. If you don't have them, they are not going anywhere.